Edition of the ComicCorp podcast, brought to you by RealNerdCorp.com. I'm your host, as always, Chad Bordo. You can find me on Twitter at ChadNerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, as well as on Chad's photo at ChadSPhotohut, as well as on Fansided MMA. It's actually MMA. It's actually fansided.mma.com. Fansided.com/MMA. There's links in my on my Twitter. Just go click on those. And joining me, as always, is my glorious co-host, the one, the only, the supernatural man himself, Marcus Green. Marcus, how are you?
I'm good, man. Here, behind on a lot of stuff that we have to watch just because it's the fall, and that just is an influx of just everything.
It's so much worse. By the way, you can follow Marcus on Twitter at ParadoxKid, ParadoxKid, as well as on the True Penny podcast via Twitter at True Penny Show, TruePennyShow.
Yep.
It's made even worse trying to keep up with Arrow and Flash and My Hero and all of this other gibberish because we now have 44,000 hours a week for pro wrestling to watch as well. We got 4 hours on Tuesday, we got 3 hours on Monday, we got 4 hours on Wednesday, we got zero on Thursday, apparently. We got 2 hours depending on Friday. Sometimes it could be upwards to five if Impact has a live event. Then we have God knows what on Saturday. Plus, if Marcus and I are watching fights that weekend, because Marcus dabbles every so often, and I have to cover this stuff now for a living. And then Sundays we got 3 to 6 hours of pay-per-views, and that's usually all the free time I have going to pro wrestling. So now you add on another hour for Arrow, another hour for Flash, another hour for this, another hour for that. Then 22 minutes for this, 22 minutes for that. Plus the fucking shows we watch for the recaps for these the monthly specials that we're doing. Like this week we're doing Creepy Crawlers, Monster in My Pocket, and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That's another hour. So yeah, we're not gonna be as up to date with the TV reviews as we used to be. Sorry, kiddies. But we do have some stuff to talk about tonight, as well as three new reviews: Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Monster in My Pocket, and Creepy Crawlers. Marcus, I'm just going to ask you this question now. Is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes not the catchiest theme song you'll ever hear? Because I thought it was pretty damn catchy, especially as a kid. It stuck with me for nearly 25, 30 years. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you know kind of stands out. Which for these shows back in that time, you kind of had to kick it off out the gate with a fantastic theme song. I mean, we talked about it with Nights of the Round, All Things Nights.
Mm-hmm.
That theme song alone made us watch it all the way through. So,
It definitely not as it's not a banger like Knights of Justice, that's for sure. But it does have that very big dramatic attack of the killer tomatoes, and it sticks with you. It's one of those songs that has always stuck with me. I've maybe seen this show 3 times, but I'll never forget the goddamn theme song. But we'll talk about that after we get through the news. Marcus, you watched Flash and Arrow this week? Question mark.
hmm
Just
yeah,
general opinions. What do you think of this week's selections? You don't need to go through beat by beat details. Just what was your takeaway?
got gotcha. I think both shows are really, hitting their strides early. Arrows is killing it right now. Um, Obviously, what you would hope to expect from a show that's literally going out, on this final season, and Flash has proven that a lot, like I said last week, that the new showrunner Eric Wallace is fixing and plugging a lot of the errors that have plagued the last couple seasons. So I think they're getting off to some good stuff. Both shows are um, really kind of holding their own stories within themselves while also keeping Crisis a focal point because that's what each of these shows is building to.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, Flash and Arrow, because basically of all the people that may or may not die, we know for sure that it's the two most likely candidates are Oliver and Barry. So I think they're doing a good job of spreading a lot of good character moments around their cast, and Katie Cassidy probably handed in her best performance on the series, in the series this week. So.
That was definitely one of the things I saw. I think it was on Monday. Someone said that before the episode came out. So you have to
Yeah,
understand, like, when people from a wide range of perspectives are saying that about Katie Cassidy, it's a truly profound and awesome situation. And the ironic thing is, Katie Cassidy really came to prominence 2006 on Supernatural season 2. So it's a little ironic
yeah,
that she's closing out her Arrow run the same year that Supernatural is closing out their run. That's a bit serendipitous.
yeah.
We'll catch up on Arrow and Flash next week, and also we'll probably end up catching up on My Hero reviews next week as well. Next week, though, we might pre-record, so we wouldn't be live because the show is right now scheduled it's on Halloween, and that's not going to be something that we necessarily want to do because it's Halloween. And Zach's already like, if you do it on Thursday, I'm not doing it. So what we might do Wednesday night, because Wednesday we're moving to making an impact is moving to Wednesdays. We might double record on Wednesday. I'm not sure yet. We might just not have a show next week. I don't know, or maybe it'll just be done on a Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out what I want to do over the weekend. So just a little program reminder. Maybe no show next week. By the by, all shows are broadcasted live. All ComicCorp shows and GameCorp shows, and the Ohio Guys shows are all recorded live via Comic and Game Core. It's actually twitch.tv/Comic and Game Core. So check us out, follow, subscribe, tune in. Marcus, our YouTube numbers for wrestling are nice. I like that. People are vibing with our NWA review, unlike last week. I think it's because I added you. Brought a little class to the proceedings.
Oh, you're far too kind, but I'm glad. I'm glad. We put in a lot of work, a lot of hours. You specifically with not only recording this stuff consistently, but uploading it as well. So it's good that know that stuff's paying off and participation from views.
And that was part of the issue with why we separated things, because our wrestling content is clearly our program driver, and everything else is kind of being held back a bit. So I'm hoping to reboot everything in essence to try to get more eyes on the comic and game side. So most of these news stories are coming from Bounding into Comics. Marcus, we got the last trailer from Rise of the Skywalker. We've both been very expressive with how we feel about the new trilogy. I think the general vibe is the first one was fine. It was very nostalgic, but it wasn't necessarily very good. But it wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything special. Then yes, go on.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you were about to start. Then the sequel, which was Last of the Mohicans, or whatever the fuck it was called. It was terrible. It was broken. The characters were awful. It was a god awful hot pile garbage mesh. And I point this out all the time. They literally had a scene where Rose Tico, I think that's her character's name, stopped what's his name, Finn, from destroying this giant laser cannon because she loves him. But in turn, she ended up killing like 1,000 people because she's terrible. Yay, writing! This movie's trash. The third film, though, unlike the predecessors, the previous two films I thought had great trailers. I was very exciting. The music was like, ooh. I was like, ooh, what's going to happen? Ooh, all right, I'm tuning in. For me, Marcus, this third trailer was trash. It wasn't very good, and it felt phoned in. Everything was CGI'd out the ass. And we were trying to sucker it in by having Lando back in the seat. Oh, cool. More nostalgia. I'm cool, though. I'm good. I'm done with this. You fucked up, Disney. You killed the franchise. I am very harsh on this trailer. Marcus, were you as harsh on this trailer? Or did you even bother to watch it? Because that would even be more indicative to this fucking calamity that is Star Wars.
Yeah, I watched it.
That's the sound of
Not with
regret.
any.
That's the sound of genuine
Yeah,
regret.
not with any, yeah, genuine glee is what clearly I'm expressing right now. But no, I watched it because obviously I know we'll cover it, and then too just for the curiosity. But I mean, look, it's kind of what we've been saying. I mean, the fact that Star Wars used to be a staple of like a destination cinema, and even like with a great build to it like every year. Now it's like not only does it seems like half the fandom is all but died off, um, or tapering off. It's not even an event anymore. And also you look at that last movie, The Last Jedi, had a lot to do with that. Then coming off of that what was that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge performed poorly apparently, and then you bring it here to this movie where you would think that one of the biggest franchises of our time would be far more frequently promoted, and I think I said this before. This is on some Dark Phoenix level um, stuff right now. And the trailer itself, it was a big ass fluff piece, is what it was. It for the fans that's left, it catered to them with the shots and oh my God, is that are they going to? And you're just watching it like, okay, this is some you know d nice cinematography, decent visuals. Obviously, we're gonna get some fights here and there, but you get to the end of the trailer and you're like, what the freak is this movie about? And then he's just like, oh no, we're gonna, I guess, bait you out with no Ray's training now. No, oh, now she's training. May or may not be training now. Finn's back. Chewie's back. Um, she's gonna fight Kylo Ren, who's all been. He's practically a Thor type villain now in terms of being depowered and becoming more relevant by the showing. Although it was cool to see him with that damn mask back on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But other than that, I mean, besides the Palpatine cock tease, and even that's like really you had to go back to that well that should have literally been capped off to get people back into it. It's like, no, this is either like a lot of rumors were true, where they shot a bunch of different endings, this, that, and third. It was a calamity, and they just like in the editing bay trying to put something together, or it's just a lot of old nostalgic shots that really amount to nothing. And this is kind of just the last hurrah, kind of like what we got with Dog Phoenix. Like I feel like the studio knew that that movie was ass, but it's like that artist who's been trying to get off that label for God knows how long, but they've been obligated to put out two more albums. So now they just put out like 30 tracks of decent work. Yeah, but this isn't even decent at this point. So
So it was universal. I don't care what the one out of every five say. The last Star Wars film, I completely don't even remember what it's called. Last Jedi, there it is, was terrible. It was god awful, and it killed the franchise. We all said it when it happened. And Rian Johnson's like, nah, my movie's the best. Cody Rhodes is like, it's the best. Well, if you've seen AEW Dynamite or AEW Dark, you know that Cody Rhodes probably doesn't have any clue what he's talking about with his plot, character development, storylines. Because his shows don't have any. Sorry, I'm still a little bitter about that. What? Wait, what does he say when he's excited? Way go! Fucking Dale. Dale's awesome. Way go, I think is what he says. But it's not been very good. And I think anyone who is paying attention will tell you that, the Solo flick was at best okay. Last of the Jedi was bad. Force Awakens was acceptable for a film, but not for a Star Wars franchise. And I'm sitting here going, God, those prequels look like fucking Citizen Kane comparatively. Perfection.
yeah,
And those sucked.
Misa agree.
I think these new films bomb bad. Good job, Jar Jar. Well, I do have some alleged leaks if you want to hear. We can save $28.
Yay.
So let's talk about these alleged leaks. These alleged leaks come from Instagram user Bisbin Bulletin. based off of leaks from Reddit off a user Jedi Paxis. Did you ever hear about Jedi the Wise? Jedi Paxis the Wise. So, Bispin Bulletin first reports the Luke and Leia training scene was supposed to be in the film but has been cut or moved. The beginning of the film will now take place on the planet Exegol, which will see a fleet, Marcus, a fleet of Sith Star Destroyers rising up from the ground. I'm pretty sure if a fleet of ships rose up through a planet's atmosphere, it would rattle the planet apart. So, good job, JJ, you cunt. But I continue. They also report that the alleged Oracle scene with Kylo Ren has been removed. Apparently, Kylo Ren is going to have a conversation with an Oracle. Now he's just going to hang out and experience some kind of flashback and find this thing called the Wayfinder. And apparently he's not going to kill as many indigenous people of a planet to find the Wayfinder, because apparently that would be colonialism. And God forbid that all these people benefiting from colonialism bitches about it. Ugh, Marcus. Sometimes I wonder. Rey's training on the Forest planet. She will apparently be attempting to communicate with Jedi who have become one with the Force, i.e. died, and is training her mind and body to do so. Oh, good. So she can already move half a planet with her mind and control the whims of stormtroopers, but now she wants to get in touch with her inner feminine energy. Fantastic. Like Luke on Dagobah, quote, Rey will become frustrated with her training and even chop down a tree that falls on BB-8. Are you going to kill the little robotic droid? Marcus, how do you feel about the death of BB-8? Would you be okay with that? I'm all for it. Fucking hamster ball.
It'll probably be the only thing in the franchise at this point that can make me feel something.
The droid dies and Marcus just hears, ba, da, 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 da,
It's the
da.
only innocent. The only true innocent.
Marcus stands in the theater, BB-8, I love you! And the droid goes, brr, 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 brr.
Like if you assholes don't turn Poe heel after this.
A heel Poe might actually save Poe from being irrelevant in this film, but we'll find out. She will also attempt to communicate with Luke, but will fail. Shocking. She will also give an attempt to Leia. She will also give Leia Luke's old lightsaber, because Leia will not be dead in this film. You had the perfect opportunity to kill her off in the last movie, but Rian Johnson needed to have his fucking little flying Leia moment. Forgot the movie that I'm trying to reference, the Mary Poppins. There it is. When Kylo Ren first confronts Emperor Palpatine, so he's not going to be a Force ghost, he's going to be real. Kylo will be angry and even threaten Palpatine. However, the Emperor will be undeterred by Kylo Ren. He doesn't even refute that he died on the Death Star, but also mocks Kylo Ren's let the past die idea. In fact, Palpatine details that the past is the key to the future and references Rey's lineage, the construction of the Sith fleet seen in the opening scene, and the fact that the Empire needs a new ruler. So, the First Order's gone, we're back to the Empire, allegedly. One big change is Palpatine's no longer references the idea of a Force dyad. D-Y-A-D. I think they mean like a deity, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what dyad means. Marcus, can we get a Google search on what D-Y-A-D means? Dyad?
D-Y-A-D.
D-Y-A-D. I will continue while you look that up. The leaks then shift towards the Resistance. The Resistance are being fed information from General Hux. Oh, good. Because that's what I needed.
Cuts.
The cuck of the First Order. Good. He's selling out the First Order's plans to a middleman named Bolio. Bolio details that Snoke rose to power in the unknown regions and was not a pawn of Emperor Palpatine. He also reveals the Sith fleet. Upon hearing about the fleet, Finn worries the First Order will begin kidnapping children in order to man it. Yay. What do we have for DYAD?
Yeah, apparently a dyad is something that consists of two elements or parts.
So that would mean the Force, Light, and Dark side. After Bulio details his information of the Resistance, Kylo Ren has become aware that there's a mole within the First Order. He tosses around Bulio, but plans to use the mole in an attempt to draw out Rey. When an officer suggests that the Sith fleet might be untrustworthy, Ren throws him into the ceiling. Oh, Kylo, you scamp. Just killing people left and right like Vader.
Still haven't got over those anger issues, huh, kid?
We're sorry she turned you down for the prom, Kylo. This ain't the way to be, kid. This ain't the way to be. The Resistance. The Resistance discovers the Sith artifact through Luke's notes that are found on the Jedi texts. They head to Pasadena. Little old lady from Pasadena. Dun, 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 dun. Rey and Kylo connect through the Force, bond with Kylo, taunting Rey about her parents. Oh, good. A sequel to the repeated performance of the last film. Yeah. And detailing that no one accepts her but him. Oh, so he's basically being an abusive boyfriend. Fair points, Kylo. I mean, if you want to make someone a heel, that's the quickest way to do it in today's climate. Rey attempts to warn her friends that the First Order knows of their location, but they are ambushed by a number of stormtroopers. Fortunately, they are rescued by Lando Calrissian. After fleeing to safety, Lando details that he and Luke were actually tracking down Sith relics, and a character named Ochi. Ochi apparently has some significant knowledge regarding wayfinders. Lando has tracked Ochi to Pasadena, but only discovers his ship there. Lando also details his hunch that the First Order were attempting to turn children of rebellion heroes into stormtroopers as an act of revenge for the fall of the Empire. Does that mean that Finn is actually the son of Leia and Lando? That would be interesting. After relaying his information, the First Order appears to have tracked them down. Lando says, "Yeah, kind of clan. I've got a bad feeling about this." He and the rest of the Resistance fighters flee on speeders as they are pursued by the First Order and Knights of Ren. How funny it would be if Finn is actually the biological son of Leia and Han. Han just goes, "Hey, Leia, how is this possible?" And Leia goes, "Oh."
I don't. It's not even more hilarious that they put this in the final film and then expect people to care about it when he should have died in the last one.
Right? Like, that would have been so much more emotional. Like, Finn dies a hero, and then you find out that he's the son of Lando. Like, could you imagine that scene where Lando finds out that he had a son and he just died weeks before? Ugh! Heartbreaking. Emotional. A moment of feeling and emotion. Of course we're not going to get that because this is fucking Disney and we have to have everything be cookie cutter now. Gotta have the Disney princess ending where everyone lives. I say fuck that noise. After relaying the information, the First Order appears to have tracked them down. Where's that? With a number of them escape, those on the Millennium Falcon, including Chewbacca, are detained. They eventually discover that Ochi was a Sith assassin. Oh no! Not a Sith assassin, you say. And uncover he wielded a dagger, which he has writing on it. Rey details it was a Sith tradition for assassins to put secrets for their weapons. C-3PO can apparently read the inscription, but is unable to translate because his programming forbids it. This might be where we get that scene in the trailer where C-3PO says, "I'm saying goodbye to my friends." Maybe they have to reboot his whole memory in order for him to read the text. Oh, look, this has some actual viability of it being true, Marcus. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Ruh-roh! Sorry, Cody. The leak then details the relationship between Kerry Russell's Zori Bliss and Oscar Isaac's Poe Dameron. Apparently the two were spice runners, and Poe still owes her some money. So, Poe Dameron, ace pilot of the the Resistance, was a smuggler? What? A fight breaks out, and Rey subdues Zori Bliss and takes them to the droid wizard Babu Frick. I think we're being trolled. There's no way this is true. Takes them to the droid wizard Babu Frick.
I feel like it was Bobby Flay, and they felt like they had to change it.
It's just a robot that looks like Bobby Flay with his voice. Hey, now here's what you're gonna do with this spiced sarlacc meat. You want to get a nice dry rub going on, and then don't worry about it. But you want to get a little Wookiee milk on there to help the cresting of the meat. It gives it a nice zest. And if you can't get Wookiee meat, go to the small planet with these little fish ladies. There's a giant four-titted, long-necked dinosaur-looking sumbitch that you can get green titty milk from. That'll work just as well. My name's Babu Frick, and we're gonna be right back here for Star Wars eating. And then like as the commercial plays, it's just him going da 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 da.
That's a movie I want.
Right now, that's a movie we can all be a part of. Now, coming
Orville,
up
come
next,
say.
we're go on.
I say, Orville, come do that skit and come save us now.
Coming up next, we're going to teach you guys how to do a little bit of a Wookiee meat blending. Oh, seems like we have a Wookiee in the audience. Sorry, Chewbacca. My bad. It's not Wookiee meat. It's hut meat. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Hut meat.
Poe and Zori reminisce about their spice training days. She eventually hands over a First Order security medallion that will allow them to get through security, but when asked to join the Resistance, she refuses. So she's going to have a minor role. Rey senses that Chewbacca is still alive on the Millennium Falcon because, Rey and Chewbacca have that close relationship. And that has since been moved to Kylo Ren's Star Destroyer. They hatch a plan to try and rescue Chewbacca while on the Star Destroyer, Rey finds Ochi's dagger. Much like when she picked up Luke's lightsaber, she has a vision. The vision shows her Ochi assassinating her parents as they attempt to hide her. Oh, no! So, literally, Marcus, the same plot from Rogue Squadron.
I'm just trying to figure out where all them ships came from since they was practically all but wiped out in the last film.
Yeah, there's like 12 people left in the Resistance. But in Rogue Squadron, they literally had the scientists show up, and they're like, we're going to take you and your family to this thing and do the thing. And he's like, no, my daughter's dead. And they're like, wait, okay, no, we'll just take you and the wife then. We don't give a fuck. Like, literally, save the goddamn plot. And the best part was, that whole situation was kind of done with fans pointing out how similar Rey, and I forget the woman's name, was in appearance for Rey and the woman from Rogue Squadron. So now you're going to rehash the same fucking storyline. I don't know. That's just funny to me. She confronts Rey. Ochi was meant to take Rey away, but her parents interceded. Kylo then reveals Rey's real lineage. After uncovering the mole Pride, Pryde, a new First Order leader, kills General Hux and informs Kylo of the location of the Resistance. Rey and company will somehow escape the Star Destroyer. The film will then switch to the Resistance and show the use of show the death of Leia. Earlier, the leaks included Luke would appear, but that has since been removed. R2-D2 will be there for her. Following Leia's death, Palpatine grows more confident. Why? It's not like she was going to be a factor. There is then a flashback scene with Rey training with Luke on Ahch-To. It will also be revealed that Luke and Leia both knew of Rey's lineage. Apparently, Luke did not want to train her because of her lineage. However, there will be a message. It's not about what's in your genes. It's about what is in your heart. It will also be revealed that Rey inspired Leia to rejoin the Jedi path. Of course she did. Rey and Resistance crew will then return to the Forest Plant and mourn Leia's passing. However, the outlook is grim, but Lando will provide some encouraging words. In an apparent change from the reshoots, Rey will no longer transmit coordinates to the Resistance at large. Instead, the new droid D-O will reveal how to get to Exegol. After uncovering how to get to Exegol, the Millennium Falcon and Resistance fleet head off in different directions. Upon arriving on Exegol and encountering Palpatine, Rey is about to strike him down. However, she senses Ben Solo losing a fight with the Knights of Ren. She initiates a force bond and passes a lightsaber to him. God, that sentence hurt my head. She's going to transcend a lightsaber through fabric of space and time to Kylo.
And yet she's training because
Dude, this is like having fucking Cam Newton on your team and being like, Cam, we want you to learn how to play quarterback. I've been to a Super Bowl and I'm an MVP. Yeah, but we want you to learn how to be a quarterback, Cam. Huh?
spent the last two films with Goku starting off with the Spirit Bomb and then Super Saiyan. Now you want to round back to the Kamehameha?
Right? Like, we're on Super Saiyan God, like Super Saiyan Gold God, and you want to learn how to do, like, the 12-piece technique? Like, you want to learn how to defeat a cyborg assassin? You're fighting literal gods, Goku. What are you doing? The foils, Kylo's success foils Palpatine's plan, which was to apparently have Rey kill Kylo and take over the Empire. However, He also had a contingency plan to drain the Force from both Rey and Kylo to rejuvenate himself. At this point in the story, he will be sending back to Ben Solo. As for the Resistance, their plan is to take over a tower on Exegol that is transmitting a signal that allows the Emperor to control the Sith fleet. However, the First Order intervenes and transforms the control beacon to their flagship. The Resistance charge the flagship on Orobox and win the day. However, Pride notes their victory is fleeting as the First Order will simply transfer the signal to another ship. With the Resistance is fighting the First Order, Rey is being drained of the Force. As she is being drained, she attempts to reach out to Jedi who have become one with the Force. She is successful in the voices of Obi-Wan, Ashoka Tano, I don't even know who that is, and Leia can be heard. Force ghosts will not be seen, but their voices imply that they are with her in spirit. The film and leaks conclude with Lando Calrissian arriving with reinforcements, including Zori Bliss. It's why the Falcon goes a different direction along with the extra reinforcements. Finn attempts to block the First Order transferring the signal by turning the ship's cannons on itself. He's successful. So it sounds like Finn dies. Finally. And that's the most recent plot leaks, and they appear to be confirmed by the most recent trailer, which shows Orbox charging on the flagship, Rey holding Ochi's dagger, Rey training in the Force, C-3PO becoming worked on by Babu Frick, the Millennium Falcon leading the charge with an overwhelming amount of ships behind it. What do you make of these most recent plot leaks? Are you interested in seeing Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker?
Mildly, but it's like
That's how I
it's hard
feel.
to even explain. Yeah.
That's how I feel. Just.
You just, you stuck with the crap just long. Let's just see the last part of it so we can get thee behind me.